And returning to South America, Colombia has finally banned the centuries-old sport of bullfighting after a decades-long battle. President Gustavo Petro has signed a law that will restrict bullfighting for a 3-year transitional period before completely banning it in 2027. Meanwhile, bullfighting arenas across Colombia will be converted into concert halls and exhibition venues. However, those who make a living from the sport say their future is now uncertain, and they fear the 30,000 fighting bulls may go to slaughterhouses. Here's our report with the details.
Bullfighting, a centuries-old sport in the South American nation of Colombia and a spectacle long been part of its cultural heritage, has now finally been banned after a battle of more than 2 decades. Colombian President Gustavo Petro has signed a law marking the end of a tradition that was constitutionally recognized as culturally rooted. Standing before a crowd at an iconic bull ring in capital Bogota, Petro said that bullfighting might be an ancestral practice, but it cannot justify killing sentient beings for fun.
There will be no more deaths in downtown Bogota, because in the center of the country, where life is queen, we can say with certainty that we are building a Colombia, the world center of life, and a Colombia, the country of beauty. And let's fill this Plaza La Santa Maria with culture, maybe with sports, with life, instead of death.
According to the new legislation, bullfighting will be restricted for a 3-year transitional period before being banned completely by mid-2027. During the transition, bullfighting activities will be allowed, but only under the conditions defined by the government. Meanwhile, over a dozen bullfighting arenas across Colombia will be turned into concert halls and exhibition venues. The highly debatable bill was approved by the Colombian Congress in May. It had been contemplating to implement the ban for more than 20 years. However, the bill often lost key votes by narrow margins.
This project has had a number of enemies and powerful opponents, powerful contradictors that have stopped its development over and over again.
The law has removed the country from the list of nations where bullfighting is still legal. These include Mexico, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, as well as European nations like France, Portugal and Spain. Colombia has now joined other Latin American nations that have outlawed bullfighting, including Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Guatemala and Uruguay. The once popular event, broadcast live by multiple television networks, has been slammed as cruel by animal rights activists. Recent polls suggest that Colombians have lost interest in the sport. But while the government's efforts to end the practice have been hailed by many, bullfighting aficionados argue the new law threatens the cultural freedoms of minorities. Bullfighters, their assistants and cattle ranchers, all of whom make a living from the sport, say their future is now uncertain. Bullfighting academies that have taught the craft to thousands of teenagers are in a dilemma whether they should continue training younger generations. Many bullfighters say they are ready to take part in the sport illegally.
In these 3 years, we will continue practicing. I will continue practicing out of the country, in my country while we can, and when we can't, we will do it illegally because this is our life, our passion. I repeat it, it's our way of life, and I will die being a bullfighter.
The ban will save hundreds of bulls from being killed in Colombia. However, it is still unclear what will happen to the existing bulls that have been specially bred and raised for these fights. Some bull owners say the animals might go to slaughterhouse as their fate is not determined by the new law. It is estimated that Colombia has more than 30,000 fighting bulls.
The day they tell me that bullfighting is forbidden, all the cattle will go to the slaughterhouse. All of it. Why am I going to continue to keep fighting bulls if I can't fight them? I will dedicate myself to another business, which is meat cattle or sell the land to industrialize it.
It is uncertain how many people in Colombia make a living from bullfights and how much these events contribute to the country's economy. However, the law still calls on the government to identify people who will be impacted by this ban. The Colombian government will then finance projects to help them start a new life, one away from bloodshed and celebrated death.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.